I really hope it is. It looks a little better so far, but you guys just let me know. And hopefully we are good to go. This is still not the settings that I want to have. This is nowhere near what I wanted to have, but I think it is a lot better than before. It still looks a little off actually. Oh my god, I think it's still bad, right? I think now that I look at this, stream looks fine now. Are you sure? Like the top, the two tabs on the left top side of the map look a little different, look actually kind of bad to me. Just let me know, guys, let me know. I really hope it's better. Because like I get nervous like hell. I'm like sweating actually. Like I really don't get nervous normally, but the resolution looks good now. It's better than before. It looks fine. Okay, if it's good for you guys, then it's good for me. Wow, like my heart is beating out of my chest. I get so nervous when I'm like the one who's messing up, and I'm just so bad when it comes to tech stuff. Anyway, please let's talk about StarCraft. Don't touch anything. I will have to touch stuff because I miss all the branding and I'm working on fixing that, but for now I just want to focus on the game. Over here in the left top side of the merry-go-round, we have Stardust, who played a pretty good game one. Alright, so since now the stream is actually working, I can talk about the game. This is of course the Intel 3 Masters open bracket round 1. Means if you lose, you still have a loser bracket to go through, but only 2 players out of 8 very strong players will qualify for the main event. This is not even the main event. And the loser of this series will drop to the lower bracket. I'm not sure who they will play then. It's either the loser of Chaos versus Snoot or maybe the loser of CJ Anti-Hero versus Death Row. Either way, none of the players that you really want to play. I have to admit I'm not super familiar with Chaos, but anyways. So live is up 1-0 after a pretty good game on King Sejong Station, but I have to admit Stardust can do way better than he did on King Sejong. He opened up with that gateway push and he wasn't babysitting his probe at all. I've made jokes about this in the past. If you open up with like 3 Nexus gateway push, or even if it's 2 base gateway push, you have to babysit your probe. Like it's truly the only thing that matters, because your entire build relies on the probe. And he just had sentries scattered all over the place, 1 stalker over here, 1 sentry over there, 1 happy little probe. He was just not babysitting his units properly, and because of that, Live was able to shut it down before it ever happened. And if a Zerg has so much freedom, is so far ahead after that, they can pretty much do whatever they want. And if making 35 milliliters is what Live wants, then he can get away with it and he can actually straight up win the game. Someone said that Snoot already won 2-0, Death Row already lost. Okay, I am not familiar with those upgrades or updates. It's not an upgrade. Of course, I am not in Canada, guys. I'm just at home. I am just sitting in my living room. I moved everything around. Normally I sit in my bedroom, but I didn't really want to stream this tournament from my bedroom, as I would feel that it's even less professional than doing it from my living room. Then again, after the 8-bit show of the last game, I don't really have anything to think about. Alrighty, so we see Stardust checking around. He sees that Live's going up to 3 bases. There is no extractor being taken yet. I would love to see some gateway pressure, but that's just me. You know, different strokes for different folks, but I personally would love some gateway pressure from good old Stardust over here. Especially because this is merry-go-round. This is a map where it's very hard for Protoss to go up to 3 bases regardless. Once upon a time, I believe somebody has tried it. They're still waiting to secure it. That's how hard it is. So if I was Stardust, I would really take, you know, save up a little bit of chrono boost and start chrono boosting warp gate technology and put on some gateway pressure on gasless Live. But that is just me. There is of course a mainstream going on as well. Stardust is actually opening up with a Stargate. Now this could still mean so many things. Something that Liquid Hero has done very often is you make a single oracle, and after that oracle you just drop 6 or 7 gateways, and then you still all in the Zerg. But of course a very normal response from a Zerg after seeing an oracle is alright, get a spore crawler in every base, get a few more drones, get an extra queen. But the last thing they often worry about is 7 gate aggression followed up right after the oracle. That's why it's a good build. However, if the Zerg player scouts it and there's a Roach Warren, it's not a very good build. He'll straight up die. But it's the type of build that I like to try. So this Stargate is following up. I'm not sure if the Overlord saw the Stargate. Yeah, he did see the Stargate. So he knows that the Oracle is on the way. Gonna keep a close eye on Stardust. We want to see if he's gonna send out a probe. And he is sending out a probe. But he's sending out together with the Zealot, which gives us the idea that he just wants to go up to 3 bases. which I personally think is very ambitious, and then we just see that third nexus going down. I think this is a very, very ambitious approach by our good old Stardust, but hey, if it works for him, we'll see if he gets away with it. I think Live is very happy with seeing this, because Live knows as well that he had a pretty greedy opening with his gasless build, and he still doesn't have Zergling speed. It is on the way now, but it took a long time before he actually had it, so we will see. The score for everybody just joined us is 1-0 in favor of Live. I am working on I think I have a way of how I want to fix this, and I will fix it for the next game. I won't change bit rates, I promise. So this Oracle doesn't do any damage at all, but you know, these Protoss players in general, they seem quite okay. They don't seem too worried when Oracle doesn't deal any damage. I personally do get worried if I play Zerg. I love the Hydralisk Den by Light. This makes so much sense. He's played this without a Roach Warren up to this point. Yeah, this is a very meta-esque scenario in this day and age of PvZ, and it is one that I don't feel comfortable in at all if I am the Protoss player. I have like no gate, I have no real strong tech. Other than my Stargate, which gives me a lot of information, I don't have anything that can straight up fight Hydralisk, or that even can fight Zerglings. I guess, you know, with gateway units, and if you get +1, you can always fight Zerglings, but a Colossus is a long way off, and I think that this is going to get very difficult for Stardust in the near future, you know, if there's enough Hydralisk on the way. But that's just, that is just me. I do have an overlay, by the way, but it doesn't work yet with the nameplate, so I'm working on fixing that, because I can't actually enter the names myself. But we're working on it, no worries. So, Oracle is picking up a couple of drones. Nothing huge yet. I am really worried for Stardust if the big Hydralisk push is coming, even though there are 4 more drones on the way now, which gives me the idea that maybe Live wants to take this a little further. He's making 10 more drones. Alright, I'm really surprised, because I think a massive Hydra Ling attack wouldn't have been a bad idea at all. Hydralisk are on the way to intercept this Oracle, and that Oracle does get picked up. That is the first unit that Stardust has lost. Not a whole lot has happened yet in this 10-minute wait. Is that the first Mothership Core? What the hell? Wow, did he actually just make a 10-minute and 20-second Mothership Core? Yeah. Stardust has only lost a single unit so far. That is pretty bizarre. Alrighty. I will get the scoreboard fixed for the next game. It won't be the most beautiful solution, but it will be an effective one. It will be the best one that I can do, since I have no Photoshop skills. So Blink is on the way. There are 3 more Overlords on the way. Stardust can't really make this happen with just Blink Stalkers, I think. What would be awesome if we can somehow secure this high ground, maybe zone out these Hydras and then get this hatchery kill. Live seems to be aware that something is going on, as his Hydralisk are moving towards the right position, and he's going to prevent this from happening. Robobay is going down. Now there is no infestation pit yet, I believe. Nope. There is no infestation pit. So that, like, Live has to start attacking soon, because like you can't just sit back. He's currently sitting on 30 Hydralisk. That is an insane amount of Hydralisk. And he's dropping the Spire now. Okay, so that makes sense. So he wants to go Hydraling into Spire, into middle display. Nothing wrong with this, but this push is still going to get pretty devastating on its own. There is so much potential DPS in this like massive Hydra army. Wow, it all for the Stardust, everything will come down to Force Fields, Guardian Shield, and he's going to need phenomenal blinks. He has less Stalkers than there are Hydralisk. He does have a Mothership Core with like over 100 energy now, so he could drop a Time Warp, but Time Warp is not that great anymore. First forces are pretty solid. A few Zerglings do squeeze past that cannon, and that cannon will fall, but with another patient blink. Man, I must say Stardust is handling this like a complete trooper. Pretty impressed. That went very well for Stardust. Only lost 9 units, so 8. Maybe a couple Zealots, maybe a Sentry or 2. I can't actually show you guys the unit lost tab, it doesn't work with this interface. First Colossus is on the way, but the Spire is about to finish up. And look at Live's bank. Now it all makes sense why he went back to running that quickly, because this will just allow him to go into a bigger meter switch than he did in the last game. And in the last game he already had such an insane economy. So he's going to be able to make like 20 Mutalisk at once. Well, actually he can only make 16, because he's supply blocked. And with supply blocked I mean maxed out, so I guess those are first world problems. First Warp Prism will enter the main base of Live. We're gonna see Stardust try to warp in a couple of Zealots. I mean, most of the time this is not actually. I mean, it's an okay move, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to do a whole lot as these Mutas go ahead at the right moment. There are way more Mutas. He does at least have a very good feel for when the Mutas are out and the amount of Mutalisks, and now he knows, alright, there's no Hive. At the same time, these Hydrolisks are just going ham on one of these bases, forcing half a recall of Stardust army. This is kind of awkward for both players. Monishcore does die very quickly. Force fields will go down. Actually, this was pretty well handled by Stardust, but now the biggest problem is this will just allow more supply for Life to transition into Mutalisk, and just a couple of cannons is not going to keep Stardust's main base safe, that is for sure. Alright, there's still a few Hydralisks as well on the south side. I must say I'm very curious to see how this one is going to play out. There are 27 Mutalisks now out on their field. There is a single Stargate. Thermal Lens is about to finish up, but Thermal Lens, I guess maybe with static defense is going to help out a little bit. Stardust is going to lose all of his workers so rapidly. And of course, let's not forget about this very exposed Colossus that could potentially die. Life has to be careful as well though, you don't want to just throw away your Mutalisk. Of course Stardust is counter-attacking, but I think this is a pretty important fight. It seems like Life is going to win this exchangement. In the end, these Hydras will die. But right now, Stardust doesn't have a whole lot of probes left anymore. He's on 32 workers, while Life is still sitting on 56. Unit count shows us 23 Blink Stalkers with +2, I believe, against 33 Mutalisks. Soon to be 40 Mutalisks, which all have +1. Look at the Spore Crawler going ham on this Colossus, by the way. A lot of very random forces went down trying to block out these Zerglings, of course. That helps a little bit, but I'm afraid for Stardust that Startale's Life just has a little too much to work with over here. As GG is